Saying when I was not here, I saw everything on whenever I'm in my hotel. Ṣebí babaláwo tó lọ bá náà tí Àṣàbí lọ bá ṣe bó kò ti Bible. Àṣàbí ò lè kò ti Bible kankan. Eléyìí torí tó táìpù sábẹ́ kínní ẹ̀ ṣe ló lọ jíwò lórí kọ̀ǹpútà. Tó lọ ṣe ló táìpù ẹ̀ tó lọ wá nǹkan tó bá mú. That is all. Nígbà tí babaláwo ti nà pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run, ìwọ tó ní ìwọ Kírísítẹ́nì, ó tún ti ọ̀rọ̀ sí lẹ́nu. Ọmọ ìlú yín kan tó ń káàkiri ní ọkàn mi.
Aṣọṣẹ ẹ máa ṣàṣejẹ fáwọn èèyàn. Gbogbo àṣejẹ wà ní Bíbélì ẹ̀yìn wèrè. Kì í ṣe nípa àbẹ́là.
Not by the candle.
Kì í ṣe nípa 7 book of Moses.
Or not by 7 book of Moses.
Olú ìtàlẹ̀ ni.
A prophet of God.
Olú òkè ìtàlẹ̀.
A prophet of God don't engage in estate agents.
Orí kìdì gbìbí ikú mọ̀.
Hi guys, welcome once again to this channel. It started first with Prophet Adebayo saying that he went to a church, a white garment church, and the spiritual head of this church is Prophet Marcus Tibetan. He said God sent him there to loose, to free, to set the captives free. You might be wondering, who are these captives? This that you're about to hear will blow your mind. It will blow your mind. The prophet ended up setting certain people free, all from the shackles, according to him, of Prophet Marcus Tibetan. For those who do not know who he is, Prophet Marcus Tibetan is known as the Nostradamus, and being called the Nostradamus and the publicity that he got came as a result of a journalist, a blogger called ASABE. He is the CEO of ASABE AFRIKATV. If you've been on this channel, you probably must have heard some analysis back and forth, and you also must have heard the prophet Marcus Tibetan's response. And a lot of people found some of his words not, they found it a little bit not what a prophet should utter, such as Asabe Benga is the horse that I rode to fame and glory. In the same vein, he is saying that he is a superstar and Asabe is nothing. Now, what caused all of this? You're about to hear from Asabe, where he narrated for the first time his experience for over 10 years with this prophet, Marcus Tibetan, a white garment cleric. He said he did all that he did, the coverage, the publicity. As you all know, social media is powerful in the right hand of the right person. Well, Prophet Marcus became more popular as a result of this particular blogger. People overseas, people all over would call this prophet for spiritual assistance. Now, Asabe got a car from Prophet Adebayo, who he has not been around with for the number of years he spent with Prophet Marcus. But he said he observed something about Prophet Marcus that is like he is a little bit too stringent when it comes to money. Like money means a lot to him. He does not like to put out cash. And he said to himself, well, since I've spotted this, I am going to do all that I will do with this man without asking for money. Well, let us balance this up by listening to Asabe Benga.
Like I said, I never ever wanted to reply any of the allegations put to me or raised against me. God used us in a very long way to discover him, and we worked so hard. We worked so hard for that reputation to be built. But when something that is very unfortunate happens, something that is almost like near unto death, then you have to take your look, you have to take your walk, you have to walk away. Yorùbá will say, Ogun ọmọ kò ní ṣeré fógun ọdún. When we met him in a very sorry state. We met him in a very low downgraded state. We met him in a very, in a backward state. We met him in a state whereby he needed help, whereby he needed to be upgraded, whereby he needed to be celebrated in our own way. And knowing me for who I am, I'm not a monetized person. I don't monetize kindness, and I don't monetize goodwill. I do what I need to do. I promote who I need to promote. I leave it to your conscience. If you say thank you, good enough. If you don't say thank you, bad enough for you. I told God at the beginning of this backlash, when he started coming out to talk about me, to sponsor people to lie against me, and to say things that I never believed could be said. He said something like, oh, ASABE is the horse that you, Prophet Marcus, rode to the palace, that then when you rode the horse to the palace, you now tied down the horse, and one day the horse lose itself, and the horse now went into the market, Kani. Ọlọ́run á wò yín sàn, mo mọ̀ pé àwọn nǹkan mìíràn ń sọ lẹ́yìn mẹ́ta ibi kí wọ́n máa kà. Olúwa fún ara ẹ̀ ló tí ọwọ́ bọ ọpọlọ yín.
They are looking for is more than land. No, I know. So they are looking for, because ASABE is not more relevant again. What really happened is that ASABE was a horse that I ride to the palace. ASABE was the horse that me ride to the palace.
Okay.
But one day in the palace, when I was in the palace, ASABE now lose himself. He lose himself from the rope and ran into the market. And it was badly beating. They beat him, they did everything because he didn't know how to walk in the public. He was putting his leg inside the oil, inside the okra, inside everything, and the people were pissed off. So when he came back to when he found his way back home, then Marcus now asked the horse, where did you get wounded? What happened to you? He said, I went to the market. I went there to go and try my popularity. And when I got to the place, I now knew that I'm not the one that popular. It was Marcus that was popular.
Then Olúwa ṣe kọ́kọ́ nìyẹn. Èmi ò ṣe ń ṣe ẹṣin tó ń dè mọ́lẹ̀, but wáyé pé ẹ̀tẹ̀ ti dì mí mọ́lẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀, Olúwa ti tú mi sílẹ̀. Àwọn tá a tún dè mọ́lẹ̀ lÓlúwa tún máa tú sílẹ̀ láìpẹ́ lágbára àṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Tó ẹgbẹ́ dè ìmọ̀ wa mọ́lẹ̀ tẹ́ lò wá fọ́dún bí mẹ́wàá tá a fi wà lọ́dọ̀ yín, because ní àárín ọdún mẹ́wàá yẹn náà kò sí nǹkan kan tí ẹ fún wa. Láàrin ọdún mẹ́wàá yẹn kì í ṣe pé ẹ sọ pé gba ilé ọ̀ gba ilẹ̀ ọ̀ gba mọ́tò. Even gan láàrin ọdún mẹ́wàá tá a fi wà pẹ̀lú yín, sọ́rí ní December pé ẹ jẹ́ káwọn ASABE gbé àpò ráìsì ẹ̀kọ́ lọ pin. Kò ṣẹlẹ̀ rí, kò ṣẹlẹ̀ rí, kò ṣẹlẹ̀ rí, kò ṣẹlẹ̀ rí, kò ṣẹlẹ̀ rí. What do you mean? Ìṣe ibi o mọ bí àṣẹ gbogbo kí ní tẹ̀ ń ṣe ṣe free lẹ́ ń ṣe pé bàbá ló jẹ́ kí n mọ bàbá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní fi yín bú mi. Tí bá ti fẹ́ gbowó mi, bàbá máa dìlé mi, kọ́ fún mi 20,000 check mi, kọ́ fún mi lówó mi, á dẹ̀ di pé kí n lọ kí n sùn ìjọ́ kejì. Pé bàbá tó ìgbà tó yẹ bàbá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní bú mi, ASABE ò ń gbowó, ìwọ náà nìkan ló ń gbowó, ìwọ nìkan owó, ASABE nìyẹn, kò ń gba kọ́bọ̀, kò ń ṣe kíní kan. And I was like, yes, that is me.
So because he didn't have brain, whom did he learn from? We know about Delegiwa, we know about Patutomi, we know about Abati, we know about all these great boys who has already who did the job and they excel in it. Well, who's ASABE? A blogger. You started blogging. After the meeting, he started all these things. Then when he now saw the name, he was thinking he's the one popular. He never knew I'm the one. Yeah, he cannot go fast because when a horse is an animal, Kabiyesi is a human being. But he gave us authority and audacity over animals. In Genesis 2, Genesis 3, he gave us a lord over them. Then there was one afternoon, the Kabiyesi was warming up to go for a meeting. But before he came, the horse has already untied himself by force and he walked into the market. So he was putting his hand inside the oil, inside the honey everywhere. So people was annoyed. Then they will start beating twin stone table and everything on the horse. So later the horse came home with bruises and everything on his face. Then when the king saw he said, where is this horse coming from? They said he went to the market by himself. I've already wounded and do all this. I said, no problem. Then, the horse now said, I want to go and test my popularity. That's what made me to go by myself. He said, no, you are not the one that popular. Okay, let me tell you something. Let us go through where you went to. So they went through the market, Ondo market, Ondo Chida, as they were just going. Everyone, copy. He said, now I know that I'm an animal. And when you look at the book of Isaiah 40, you go and check it. Then when you look at it, he said, gbogbo ẹran ara ni koríko ro ìtọ̀nà ń tàn ẹ̀mí Ọlọ́run ló mí ìmú àwa èèyàn alágbára.
Ara létò lọ́ra ilé wa mú nǹkan báyìí wá gba nǹkan báyìí lókè lọ mú nǹkan báyìí wá kò sí nǹkan tí a sanwó fún even ìgbà tí a gbé àwọn èèyàn kan wá tó súnmọ́ àtàgbé wọn wá sọ́dọ̀ yín a sì tún mówó lẹ̀ bí ẹ ṣe ń gbà lọ́wọ́ ti bí lẹ́ ń gbà lọ́wọ́ tèmi náà àwọn nǹkan kan wà tá a ṣe tó gbé àwò we never got any value for free and because we are advertising you we are promoting you based on the truth that we felt you are saying from your mouth. That truth is what I saw and we saw and we decided to give you all the support. But we didn't even see your Akagom, culture, or we didn't even look at that one. We were like, okay, because in life, I do things for people. If you thank me, I count it as a honorarium. If you say thank you, if you give me anything, even if you come tomorrow and give me a house, I will thank you. It's honorarium. But I will not keep it. I will appreciate it in a very glaring situation. So, but it was after Ọlọ́run lo Prophet Adébáyọ̀ Ṣẹ́gun Adébáyọ̀ láti fún yín ní query tí Ọlọ́run lo máa yẹn from nowhere tó gbé mọ́tò fún wa ìdẹ̀ṣe gbé mọ́tò yẹn fún wa láti fi ṣèkà ó ṣe láti inú ọkàn because bóun ṣe máa ń ṣe nìyẹn. He's been doing that for years. He's a blind giver. He's a generous giver. He's a dangerous giver. So ìgbà tó ń gbé mọ́tò fún wa ní January 2022 ní March lẹ́yìn ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń sọ wípé ilẹ̀ kan plot kan afẹ́fẹ́ ilẹ̀ kan ní Lẹ́kì ìwọ àti ìyàwó ẹ̀ kó ẹ lọ kó síbẹ̀. Mo dẹ̀ ń wò pé ṣé kò lè fún mi nílẹ̀ láláì ṣe pé mi àti ìyàwó mi kọ́lé a lọ kó síbẹ̀. Bó ṣe jẹ́ pé ìwọ ṣe máa ń fi hàn kan tó máa tún dèèyàn yẹn mọ́ nǹkan yẹn ìwọ ò lè ṣoore àṣetàn kó ṣoore. Lókè gbé adé bí Prophet Adébáyọ̀ ṣe fún mi mọ́tò kó di pé Àṣàbí ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ máa wá sí church ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ máa jókòó ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ máa ti báyìí wọn ò ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. He did it for the bottom of his heart. He did it freely. Then in your own case, you also try to tell people most of the time, I think you are doing too much. You make it look as if, we are doing this, we are doing that. When we are doing nothing. In 2018, you will discover that someone very close to me, that you know through me, very close to me, had to leave you because why? You are complaining to him that my relationship with his sister, that me Ojaloko, me Ofulomo compass, you use divide and rule, you even destroy relationships. He said, 100,000 ni mo fún, 100,000 ni mo fún, and that thing, and when the guy found out that you are not giving me anything, that's why the guy left you, block your phone, decided to go away far because he was shocked that the whole prophet can be lying. Mina, And the guy also looked at it that when his own mom had a little challenge, when she came around, we were paying. He was dropping money, I was dropping money. We were dropping money, I was dropping money. But we thank God for how God did it eventually.
Welcome back. Let us touch on one or two things about this. I introduced to you those that we are going to talk about. Now, it is kind of unsettling how Prophet Marcus Tibetan, in the same vein, quoting Bible scriptures and also referring to a human being as a horse that was tied and broke away. He was trying to use some analogy like the horse went out, referring to the blogger, thinking he was popular, but I actually was the one that made him popular. And not just that alone, the prophet alleged that he was the one that gave the blogger this blogging idea. Like, you know what? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why don't you do this? That this blogger came to him as per some, as regards spiritual issues that he helped him out of. And eventually he gave him this idea and many other ideas. But the blogger made it clear that someone introduced him to Prophet Tibetan, like, you know what, I want you to do this and do this and do this for this prophet. But the prophet claimed that he was one that gave a journalist the idea to be a journalist. I mean, to be a blogger, I mean, come on. It's a little bit not clear there. I mean, the prophet, I don't really understand what he meant. It's like someone saying that I gave the prophet Tibetan this idea of prophesying. I mean, this is what he's trained to do. This is what he does. This is what the blogger ASABE does. And you giving him that, I don't really get it. That part does not really make sense. Now, as per doing this pro bono, like he said, he has been putting down content on behalf of the prophet without collecting money. And this prophet felt so comfortable with this. He did not in any way offer, at least you do some kind of, end of the year, take a bag of rice or something, take this X and Y amount of money for this and that. Someone has been putting you on his blog and you've been getting clients, and I'm going to use the word client, you've been getting customers, you've been getting people calling on you, I have this problem, I have that problem, home and abroad, and you've been able to get money of them. You cannot look inside of you and say, okay, take this. Now, he got a car. He got a car from a new prophet that he has spent less time with. He got a car. And according to Gbenga ASABE, Prophet Marcus felt like, they've given him a car. Maybe this time around, he want to leave me. This thing about gift. Let us assume that Prophet Marcus is gifted. Let's say God gave him this gift. Because there are controversies surrounding whatever it is that it does. If you've been on the channel, I did some analysis and I presented to you a prophet, self-acclaimed prophet, who claimed that God spoke to him about Prophet Marcus Tibetan and all of that. He said some things about him. But let us assume that God gave him this gift to prophesy, to see visions, to predict and all of that. You see, gift without character, it's a big no. It's a big problem. Gift without character, it's a big no. When you want everything for yourself, when you want to swallow, you want to be bigger and better than everybody, you want to swallow everybody around you, you want to take everything in for yourself. In fact, those that are around you helping you to progress, you believe that your malaika or angel or whatever brought them so that you can ride on them. At least when you ride on a horse, give the horse water. Give the horse water. Give the horse some grass, some hay, something like, take this to survive so that you can keep carrying me. That's what he said Prophet Marcus Tibetan cared less about. It's more about enslavement. This is what this blogger is saying. It's more about, even slaves, they are given food at times. Food not to make them too strong to fight back, but at least something to be eating, something to... This is, if there is anything much more than a slave. Anyway, they say our words and our deeds will find us out. And Prophet Marcus Tibetan, it is not about, bloggers saying this. You said certain things that people heard and they're like, what is going on? I know you to be a controversial person. He is a controversial person. He speaks about, if all of the pastors in Nigeria are all in the bad book of Prophet Tibetan. All of the prophets plus white garment. Maybe some people that are his friends, 1 or 2 or 3, which is okay. He has his own opinion about them. Himself is upright, is clean as a whistle, according to himself. But what about the allegation? The other guy came out recently, and I felt pity for him. I thought at first, like, this guy, was he? Because if you come across those spiritualists or so-called prophets, self-acclaimed prophets, if you come across them and you're not careful, even without them hypnotizing you or using spiritual powers on you, they've already mesmerized you. They expect you by force. They will say you should respect the grace in them. So you can't call them by their name. You have to bow. You have to always, even if you're older than them, they quickly, those in the Pentecostal, they have that attitude and character. Immediately you come around them, they are referring to you as their son, my daughter, my son. Already, they have psychologically placed themselves on you as God, Father, and son-father relationship. They've already placed you in that position immediately. So if someone is calling you my daughter, my son, how can you tell your father you did this, you did not do that, and all of that? So I looked at the case of this young man that said that Prophet Tibetan, took millions of naira off him somehow to buy land. I mean, plots of land, many plots of land that he eventually realized was he didn't even see the land before paying that money. He so much trusted the prophet, I think, or he was hypnotized, tied spiritually. That's why it's dangerous to get spiritual items from certain people, particularly when you know that they know that you are well-to-do or you are financially okay. If you make a mistake, be very careful. Everything you have around you, guide it with all your strength. And make sure you don't give to them some of your personal, like pictures, like some of these things. Don't leave it with them. Don't give it to them. They might start with, and there's this spiritual work I want to do. Once you give it to them, that will be the remote control. Any day you turn against them, they have experience. They've experienced with a lot of people here and there. So this one, who knows, maybe the spirit will whisper to them. Who knows the spirit? Maybe in their cunningness, they will take. So whenever you go against them, they use that to, control you. And at times, they give you this soap. They say it's mercy soap. Then they give you another one. They say that one is protection soap. Now, that mercy soap is a merciless soap. And the one of protection, there is no protecting of anything there. It's actually to cover you from seeing or listening to those that will help you or set you free from the chain. So you take both of them. It is still the same protection, but you're not being protected from anything than those that will help you. You take the protection soap, you take the mercy soap, which is merciless soap. You shower, you wash yourself. End of story. From that day onward, you are at the beck and call. You are at the mercy of the so-called spiritualist prophet or whatever. And that's it. End of. Before you know it, you've already given them money. I feel so sad and so much a pity for the other young man who said he lost millions of naira and is trying to recover it back. And is afraid to go to court with the prophet, being that the prophet has spiritual tools to, to manipulate court. And I think you should not be saying this is what he's going to do. Even if you know this is what is your money. Maybe he's afraid. I think he has seen several manifestations, or the prophet has done spiritual work that will make him afraid. I don't know. He said he's afraid. He doesn't want to do that, or he does not want to do this. Maybe he has some other plans. I don't know. I'm just saying he might not really divulge all that he's onto or he wants to do. But the prophet is not willing to return money. The prophet said, the land is there. The land is there. May we not fall. You see, stop transacting business of any kind or type with any man of God, as they call themselves. A big lesson, regardless of how you trust him. The thing you went there for is what you should face. If you went there for prayers, do the prayer without attaching any other thing to it. Don't give out your daughters to come and clean their house or be around them for Bible lessons. Be careful. This life, this life, don't forget that even your pastor that God called can turn against you. So, ASABE, he has said one or two things. There are more things that he said. But I just summarized everything. I looked into it. It is more or less like he escaped from the clutches of a man who he claimed tied him spiritually, or wanted to tie him, or had tied him spiritually. Let's just say tied him spiritually, still not taking care of what has been tied down. Even if you have a chicken, you tie the chicken to a spot. You want to throw some corn cobs, some cobs to, or some, seeds to that, but none of those things. So he wasn't getting better financially, apart from what he does, personal businesses or the blog and all of that. He wasn't getting, like, at least, man of God, show that you are a man of God. There was nothing man of God in it. He didn't see nothing. He didn't see nothing. Now that you're not getting nothing, coupled with your spiritual challenges or problem that is not you just feel like, what is going on here? Spiritually, you're not better. Financially, you're not getting better. So, I think he is a wise person, although we cannot be too perfect. He's a wise person. We cannot be too smart. He has learned his lesson that you should not fall into the trap of anybody, regardless of how they position themselves to you. They might give you gift, they might not give you gift, whatever. Always be alert. Doesn't matter how nice they are. Be alert, regardless of, oh, this prophet is a good one. This one is not a. Everybody is a suspect. That's just it. You have to be watchful. You have to relate with pastors, prophets, not with your arms embracing them, but at, arm's length. Arm's length. After all, it is God that we all should answer to. I don't know what your thoughts are as regards this. Drop your comment, like, and share. See you in the next update.